y'all? It's your boy D. I'm here with my man T and my big dog Drew. And this is Saturday Morning Traffic, the greatest podcast, not the latest podcast. And today we're gonna be touching on some heavy topics as far as the NBA is concerned. You know, MVP candidates, who's basically in the running for it. We're gonna discuss high scoring games, you know, things of that nature, and a few other things. So yeah, let's get ready and get into it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, we're gonna go over the top five MVP candidates and the other five that were left off of the top five of the full top 10. But yeah, Drew, you got anything before we get started?
No, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Yeah.
All right, let's get it. This is the top five MVP candidates in order. At number one is LeBron right now, and this is obviously for odds favorites. Number two is the Joker. Number three, Embiid. Number four is KD. And number five is Luka. And then go ahead. You guys can go ahead, D. Start what you think about this list.
Hold on. Let me go back to the picture. I can understand why LeBron is clearly number one because he's literally aging backwards. So there's really no doubt there. I think I read somewhere that he has the best 3-point percentage in his career this year. Because if you look at him, he's not taking all 3-point shots, but if you notice a lot of the 3-point shots that he is taking, they're usually smart ones. You know, and a lot of people don't appreciate his mind as far as basketball is concerned, that he plays at a high level. Like, you obviously as an NBA player, you have to play on a certain level mentally. And I think he takes it there and then he takes it up a notch. You know, because there was an interview that he did and he said, like, look, I play basketball. I want to win the way I want to win at the end of the day. You know, whether you think it's, I'm not doing it Jordan's way, I'm not doing it Kareem's way, you know, or any other greats way. I'm doing it my way. I'm playing the basketball to my definition while still accomplishing what I need to, because he's got a lot of the youngest player to ever, you know, and then, you know, such and such after that, you know, whatever accolade. Eventually it's going to hit the point to, the oldest player to ever, blah, 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 the oldest player to do this, the oldest player with this, such a, you know, it's going to keep happening. So his MVP candidate run, I believe he can win it. I don't think it's impossible, but it's definitely within his reach if he keeps up the performance he has right now. Because right now, LeBron is carrying AD. AD's not carrying LeBron.
Yeah.
And as far as the Joker's concerned, I think, what the hair? I think as far as the Joker's concerned, he has a strong case for NBA MVP simply just because he was gone for a while. He was injured because he was injured for a whole year, right?
Yeah.
I think he was injured for a whole year, and when he came back, it was for like the last maybe 20, 35 games of the season right before the bubble hit.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got into the bubble and he just went nuts.
Yeah.
And ever since he's came out of the bubble, maybe Murray hasn't really, you know, kept up to the, you know, the height of play that he was playing in the bubble, which is understandable because, you know, we can't admit that it was basically like, you know, all-American basketball. Like it was basically like enhanced pickup games. There's no sound. Like, it was literally just basketball. And some of the younger players work better in that environment. With Jokic, what I've noticed is when he goes out there and plays, he's focused. Like, you know, most players like are vocal. They're, you know, it's like Tim Duncan. Like, Tim Duncan really doesn't do too much talking. Jokic doesn't do too much talking. You know, he's like a mixture between like Shaq, Tim Duncan, and like Allen Iverson as far as the passing is concerned, you know. But I think he has a good case, you know, to win MVP because he's just going out there and he's putting up these crazy numbers. Like, I can't remember, was it me and you, Tony, that were talking about does the NBA record like affect like whether you win MVP or not? And then we brought up Westbrook.
Yeah, but historically it has, except Russell Westbrook's year because he did something no one's done since Oscar Robertson. That's why.
Yeah, I think that his case was a little different. I think with Jokic, I think he could win MVP. I don't think it would be hard, but I think they'll just have to win more games and they'll have to he needs more pieces around him. And I think if Denver doesn't, eventually Denver's going to reach a point to where they're going to have to get rid of somebody and they're going to start building around Jokic. which I believe they already are, but I don't think it's gonna result in somebody that you feel is important and ended up getting traded. As far as Embiid is concerned, I haven't really watched him play much, but I heard he's been going crazy, so that's pretty much that.
For a little
Finally,
on him, it's he's got like 29.6 a game and 10 rebounds a game.
And blocks.
And
I
they're
just gonna
first in
say
the
about
East.
time.
You said about time?
Yeah, that's all I can say, man. Like that dude, like he reminds me of like that year that Shaq was just kind of being lazy. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Embiid. I'm just like, about time. Like, finally, you show up. Like, there was literally at one point I seen a video of him eating a chili cheeseburger during halftime. Like, what the freak are you doing, bro? Like, come on, man. Like, you're in the middle. Like, oh, I want to take a break. Like, what are you doing? Like, who does that? And I think Tyronn Lue is the coach there now, or is it Doc Rivers?
Doc. But they don't call him Doc Rivers now because of Dr. J. For the respect of Dr. J. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Like his
Do
real.
they just call him Trash Rivers?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers, because there's no D, Same thing.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, to me, I feel like it's Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is literally him and Dominique Wilkins are probably the only two players that have came back from an injury and gotten better. And I think you can tell usually when a player comes back from an injury if they took the rehab serious or not. And Kevin Durant, with the play style that he has and the way the current NBA is set up, is more based on shooting than it is like offense or defense. He's playing out of control. You can't. And I think it's a mixture of he's coming off of an injury that took him out for a year, on top of wanting to play basketball, taking his rehab seriously, and really, you could really tell he worked on his game. Not to say he was bad beforehand, but he's magically gotten better. So if he wins MVP, comeback player of the year, and then yeah, great. I would be happy with that. I would be fine with that. Luka, I don't really see it happening. He's still young. He's got certain points in his game that still need to be worked on. I think his shot creating ability could be a little bit better. His shooting form could be a little bit better. I think he needs to work on how to play outside of a layup, because I think he can hit threes and, make mid-range shots like that. But I think that area of his game needs to be perfected because, a lot of people are saying, oh, he's like Kobe when he was number 8 and blah, 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 this, that, and the third. I'm like, yeah, but Kobe when he was number 8 was good, but Kobe when he was 24 was great.
Yeah.
He had the ability to make these crazy difficult shots. And I think the best thing that Dallas could do is, if they really want him to win MVP, is, hire Dirk on for mentorship, or get a veteran play like Jerry Stackhouse, like somebody over there to help him, to mentor him and, help him get a better shot. And I think I think in the next, maybe not this year, but maybe next year, I think he can have MVP if he gets the proper mentorship. But yeah, that's my take on everybody.
Hey, Drew, before you go, I just want to let everybody know, they have Giannis at 6, Steph Curry at 7, Anthony Davis at 8. I don't know how he got that high.
Me either.
Damian Lillard at 9 and Kawhi at 10. Now, I'll let you go ahead, Drew. What's your take on this top 5 and leaving those other 5 players out of the top 5?
Where did you said where did you mention Damian Lillard?
Yeah, he's ranked number 9.
No, I see the list now. We'll start with the top 5. LeBron, like D said, he's basically Benjamin Button in his playing career. When I first looked at this list, I was like, why is Embiid there? Then I looked at the Eastern Conference and I saw their first. I was like, okay, it makes sense. And I mean, 30 points a game.
30 and 10?
Yeah, I mean, he's finally arrived. As well as Kevin Durant's playing right now, I think he might be higher in the race if it weren't for COVID. I know we might, have a little drinking game like, oh, every time you hear COVID, take a shot. But that's honestly the case how I feel with him. I mean, especially being that I had him in fantasy basketball and the amount of games where he had to sit. Oh my gosh, bro. Like I should have at least 6 wins in each league, and
Right.
because that guy wasn't there.
Yeah, he's a scoring monster for sure.
Yeah. And then Jokic, it doesn't surprise me that he's in this picture. Like we said, he's picked up from last year. Like he never really dropped off his production. He's averaging 8.6 assists. That was basically the biggest part of his game that I really liked. Him being a passing big, and those type of numbers. When you look at that, and then Luka, who's also on this list, averaging 9.4 assists, and LeBron averaging 7.9. He has the second best assist rate. I didn't get Durant's, but out of anybody on this list so far, and so that part I really like his game. And then, I mean, Luka's almost averaging a triple double with 28.5 points a game, 8.7 rebounds a game, and 9.4 assists. I feel like he would be like further ahead if they were winning as a whole, but because they're not. I'm honestly like I don't. There was a stat that was on the bottom of that picture, Tony, that you sent out about the MVP. It said what? Since '85, only 2 MVPs have come from a team that finished worse than second in its conference during the regular season. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So that means if we follow that logic, LeBron and Embiid are like front runners.
Let me ask you this,
right
Drew.
now.
Let me
What's
ask you
up?
a question. Are you surprised Donovan Mitchell is not in the top 10 at least? While Utah has the number 1 overall record?
No. He's not a I mean, yeah, he's a first round pick. Was he number 1 overall?
No. He slid
Okay.
down in the draft. But I mean, he is averaging 25, 5 and 5. He's got the team working. I'm not saying he is. I'm just surprised because like the record say, but and then Giannis being outside top 5 when they have the second record.
They're second in the East. Yep.
So that would be pretty much like the 4th overall.
That's wild. I mean, where are his numbers though?
But even Damian Lillard has Portland in the 5th overall seed in the West.
Oh, that's criminal. I mean, I feel like he's understanding of the fact that he'll probably be like the most overlooked. Should have been MVP candidate in his career. Look, like when we look back on it, that's what we're gonna say about him.
Would you kind of put it into like Dwayne Wade when he just was like so ridiculous, but his team wasn't doing what it was supposed to do, even though he was on a level of top guards in the game before they got Shaq, right? But like it was on TNT when they were talking about it, and someone else got it because they had a winning record. Same thing with like Steve Nash over Shaq, right? Those times.
No, yeah, records definitely matter. That's why according to this, Embiid and LeBron, are the Lakers second in the West?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we follow that 85 stat that was under there, they would be front runners right now, which I don't think was the case. Is LeBron and Jokic the top 2? I mean, that makes sense.
Here's the thing:
they're probably gonna give it to Jokic, huh?
Denver's a 7 seed.
But if you look at that statement Brad Stevens made, talking about how LeBron should have several MVPs, but because we want something else to talk about, we gave it to other people.
That's true.
Jokic is probably the front runner on this. If you think about that, almost a triple double. Yeah.
Okay. I hope y'all realize that I literally said this 2 weeks ago that Jokic is going to win MVP this year. And Tony was literally saying no. I told Tony that Jokic is better than AD.
And you said no, that several times though.
Yeah, I've stuck to that statement, and it's just funny, hilarious.
My question is for both of you guys. should Luca even be in? I mean, yes, he's an MVP candidate, top 10, but I don't think he should be a top 5 because of where Dallas is not. They're a 9 overall seed in the West. Should he be top 5? Yes, he's putting up his numbers.
No. I would easily replace him with Damian Lillard. I would easily replace him with Kawhi Leonard. I would easily replace him with anybody. Not anybody, but I don't think he should be top 5.
Not top 5. He's good for the league.
I can understand Embiid based on the numbers that Drew gave as far as Embiid is concerned, them having the best record, which I don't really feel like it's a defining factor on whether you should be considered for MVP or not, because it's literally a singular player award. So if your team is trash and you're just the best on your team, then you win MVP. It's like, I get it. I understand. Because I feel like it's a certain caliber player that can get MVP. Like they literally just ball out every game. So I would say, instead of Luka, I'd put Damian Lillard or Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell?
You're not gonna put Giannis? He's averaging 27.
I'm not putting Giannis. You know why I'm not putting Giannis? Because I know he's not going to show up in the playoffs.
But this is not a playoff award.
Okay, I understand it's not a playoff award, but how many times have we given Giannis MVP for no reason?
Because it wasn't for any reason. It was a regular season award, and he outdid everybody in the regular season, just not the playoffs.
Okay, I just don't.
That's the take.
Maybe I'm
where,
biased because I just.
If they started making it a playoff and regular season, that's different. But I
think that segues into a larger conversation of the flaws of the MVP award and criteria used to measure it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's fair to anybody else. Well, I mean, obviously, life isn't fair, but if you have the best record of the season, like it almost feels like you're just playing to get MVP, and you don't care once you get into the playoffs. Because don't get me wrong, he plays great in the regular season. Well, let me just suck for the next 2 rounds. So it's like, even though it's a regular season award, it just feels like you're only playing to get the MVP, and that's it. Like there's no more drive and effort after that. That's what it feels like for Giannis.
Wait,
so that's why I'm saying.
That's how you feel about Giannis,
though?
Yeah, bro. Look at every time he's been in the playoffs.
But
he's been a big.
That's his maturation time, though. If you think about it, he's still growing. I mean, he's what? I don't feel like as a basketball player, he's not accomplished at all. Like I feel like he still has a lot of room to grow.
The problem is he's doing his thing, but where's Middleton? It's the same thing with Damian Lillard. What happened with CJ in the playoffs? Or it's the second part. They're doing their thing. They're getting their stuff, their numbers. But when the second player who's supposed to be an all-star and supposed to step up, they don't. When the Bucks start hitting threes, that opens up everything, and that's when the Bucks run away with the game. But when you do a box in one and make him shoot, of course, that's what happens. That's what every team. So the schemes that the coaches are running for the Bucks is not helping in the playoffs.
It's not helping in the playoffs because they're not forcing Giannis to add more depth to his game. Everybody, like, to me, this is how I look at Giannis. He's got the abilities of Shaq, but he can't. But he also has the downfalls. All he does is drive. That's it. Drive. He doesn't have any form of a shooting game.
Well,
and I feel like, not to the point to where it can be effective like that. Like, yeah, of course he can hit mid-range shots and stuff like that. But what I'm referring to is if Giannis knew how to create his own shot, like as far as shooting is concerned, instead of just driving all the time and because once he's out of if you take Giannis out the paint, it's pretty much game over. He doesn't have a game outside of being under the rim and getting stuff like that. So what I'm saying is, if they forced him to learn, if he got to the point to where he could shoot a 3, he could shoot a mid-range shot and create his own shot, it would be a way different ball game. I would, and I feel like, yes, we're getting you help. Yes, we're surrounding you with all these other players and whatnot. You got a point guard now, so you can play, play off ball or whatever. But it's like, damn, bro, like at some point you have to develop your game, and that's what I feel like you're talking about as far as maturation is concerned.
Here's an interesting player who I think should be in the talks of the top 10, not a top 5. And that's James Harden. Like, why isn't his name being talked about when he's pretty much the point guard now, right? And he's averaging 25, 11, and 7, right? And the past few games, he's been averaging like 14, 15 assists a game. Why isn't his name brought up more about this? Is it because of the trade, or what do you guys think?
I think it's the media, bro. Like a lot of people got to understand that, like he said, the flawed aspects of the MVP award.
Mhm.
If James Harden didn't win it, I wouldn't be surprised, because the way the media portrayed him with that whole trade and how he acted with that whole trade, that's going to affect a lot on whether people should feel you deserve the award or not.
All right. No,
I'm not disagreeing with this play and how he's moving as far as, he's playing great. He's doing what he's supposed. He's back to James Harden form, but I don't think he'll win MVP just based on how the media likes to twist and paint the picture for the Brooklyn Nets. Because right now it's everybody and their mama saying something about the fact that they're not playing defense.
What about Steph? Steph Curry is putting identical numbers to his MVP. What do you call it? MVP seasons of where everybody voted for him, unanimous. But they do have an 8 seed, right? Are in the 8th in the West. Just got beat down by 30 to the Nets, right? But putting up, he's had almost 2 games over 60. He's had a 60-point and a 57, and we'll get that in a little bit about that game between him and Luka. But what are your thoughts do you think he should be at least top 5? Should he replace Luka?
Nope.
So you think he's having a better season? Is he having so is Damian, because you said you would replace Luka with Damian Lillard. So would you give Damian Lillard as a better 5th spot, as you will, than Steph Curry?
I'm gonna tell you how I told my partner on Facebook that was telling me that Steph Curry's having an MVP season. Steph Curry is doing the same thing that he was doing when, like, the amount of points that he's scoring, he wasn't having these high scoring games when he was with when he had Clay, when he had Kevin Durant. And maybe this is just strictly because I don't like Golden State fans, but Steph Curry has really only been good for the past 4 or 5 years. Let's be realistic. Those two, the first MVP he got, I could understand why he won it. When the 2015, 2016 year that Golden State won the finals and they secured that NBA championship, I could respect that. The next 2 rings, I don't respect at all, because the only reason why you got those, let's be realistic, is because of Kevin Durant. So did Steph Curry really play good, or did like Kevin Durant just carry a team to the finals and get back-to-back championships? On top of that, what I will say is, you having these 55-point scoring games and these 62-point score, like you having these crazy games, like, okay, Damian Lillard was doing the same thing and he's had a shitty team his whole entire career. What makes you any different?
That's facts.
Yeah, but
what makes you any different?
27
and hold on, let me finish. What makes you any? Okay, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, what makes you any different? It's like, oh, Steph Curry's the golden child. Like I said, bro, if Steph Curry was to win the MVP, it's 30% playing style, 70% the media. Only like him being the golden child to the media. I came off a hand injury. Oh, Klay Thompson got injured again in the midst of me coming back, and it's too much. It's a good story, basically, is what I'm saying. When Damian Lillard has basically outplayed you and should have got the MVP, to me, he should at least have one.
He shouldn't have got MVP. What are you talking about?
He should have. Damian Lillard should at least have one MVP in my eyes.
No. Well, maybe 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Well,
you could pick the year.
When they played Paul George, yeah, that season, because they made it a conference finals, but that season I think they were a 3 seed.
I'm just saying, I don't know what you could pick the year. That's fine by me. I just feel like he should.
My question is,
I don't think Stephen Curry should have 2.
Steph Curry,
he have 2?
Yeah, he has 2. Steph Curry, I have watched, because I'm in the Bay. I watched the games. Almost every game, he's getting double and triple teams. Every possession, because they don't have another scorer that can open that up. Like Wiggins, trash. Okay, Oubre, he's decent. He'll jump out of the gym, but he doesn't have a jump shot.
That
Like,
boy can't shoot a 3 to
he's
save
okay.
his life.
That's what I'm saying. And then you got Draymond Green averaging 6, 6, and 6. Like, what the hell is that going to do? So that's why the teams collapse on that. That's why what he's doing is pretty impressive. Getting double or triple team.
It's
at
not
half
impressive
court.
though.
No,
It's not
listen,
impressive.
listen, bro.
It's not. It's not
How is
impressive,
that not?
bro.
All right. You getting double and triple team at half court.
Okay.
You have no other scorer.
Okay.
With Portland, you actually have CJ McCollum. You have some nights where Melo's a little older, but he's still a scoring threat on the block. That's all
Okay.
day for him.
Okay.
So he has
okay.
more options and weapons and shooters around him, and they have identical numbers. But Portland has
So you're
help.
gonna disregard the fact that Nurkic was injured for how long? CJ McCollum is gone.
No, I'm
and
just
they
saying
really-
to this point. To this point, now it's basically they're in the same boat.
They're only in the same boat as far as scoring is concerned, but Dame has had a shittier team way longer and has performed way better.
It
than
doesn't
Stephen
matter
Curry.
what
Stephen
happened in the
Curry-
past.
Oh, but
It
you're
happens
not letting
this
me finish,
season.
dog. You're not letting
This
me
season,
finish.
this is all that matters.
But what I'm saying is you've only been good for 4 or 5 years. Dame has been snapping his whole career.
It don't matter about what's in the past. It's what's
Okay,
current
okay, so
season.
then
He's trying to tie Tony. He's trying to tie it together. Let him tie it together.
I know
That's
he's
what
trying
I'm
to tie his shoe, but that ain't gonna work in this debate, right? So
no, Steph Curry need to tie his shoe because he got a paper ankle.
this is what like gets a lot of me like get me going with all these people like where
These
they're like,
people,
"Oh, they
dog,
did
these
this 3, 4
people,
years
Tony.
ago." It doesn't matter what they did 3, 4 years ago. This is a 2021
I'm telling you facts though.
award. It means this year.
Okay, I understand that. But I'm stating facts. This
I
is
know
for
what you're
every Golden. This is for every Golden State fan with Steph Curry's dick in the back of their throat. The nigga has only been good for 4 to 5 years. He's won 1 championship. No, he's won 3 championships. To me, he only won 1. He's gotten carried to 2. He didn't win finals in either of those years that he got back-to-back championships. And the only reason why he got that MVP the second year, let's be realistic, is because the team surrounded by him helped him score. I understand it's a team sport, but that is an individual award. So what I'm saying is Damian Lillard has been on a shittier team progressively longer than Steph Curry because he did not get his shining moment until 2015, 2016. That's what I'm saying. So for you to sit up here and act like, oh, well, because he's having these crazy outscoring games, who's been doing it longer? That's like saying
Don't matter. That's what I'm saying.
now it don't matter. And this is what I be talking
It
about.
don't matter. It's about this year. It's
This
like
is what I be talking about.
no, I know what you're talking about. If you're talking about longevity of a career, if you're not talking about championships and you're just talking about scoring ability and all that, yeah, you might have a case. You have a case about that. But literally, we're talking about a regular season award for this year.
Okay, I'm still picking Dame.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
That's
Now,
all I'm saying. I'm still gonna pick
let's
Dame.
segue. Let's
So it's not gonna-
segue.
it's not gonna-
No. Let's segue into the next thing, okay?